Good morning, everyone. I hope you're doing well. It's Tuesday. I want to talk to you today about scaffolding, about building. Last week we spoke of Sears Tower in Chicago here, or Willis Tower, excuse me. I don't think I'll ever get used to that, but we spoke of a very tall building here in Chicago, a beautiful building to be sure. And we talked about the foundation and the power of the foundation. The power of the tower was in the foundation. Well, we talked about that, but I want to talk to you today about what we built on top of that. The floors, the 110 floors on top of it, kept going, kept going, kept going. And they're trying to build them even taller. There's a 150-story one in Dubai. I don't know how it's going to end up going. Nevertheless, there are floors to be built in our lives. And it's going to take a workforce. That means there's going to be workmen. We'll call them friends, teachers, mentors. They're going to be people surrounding our lives. They're going to walk around our lives on scaffolding. Say, well, what does that mean? Well, that just means they may or may not be permanent in our lives. But they're going to be scaffolding, and they're going to be necessary in order to get the life that we want, in order to get that built. We're going to have teachers, people who say, okay, John, Sue, this is what you need to know. Here's the information. And we have a choice at that point to take the information, use it, or to toss it aside and say, no, I don't need that. But if we don't take the lesson then, we'll take it later. We'll actually take that information one way or another. It's easier if we take things the first time around. However, most of the time we have to be hit over the head with it a few times before we finally yield to it. Or is that just me? Maybe that's just me. If you're better than that, then good on you. But the people in our lives may or may not be permanent. The Bible says everything happens for a season. There's a season for everything. There's a season to laugh, but there's also a season to cry or to mourn. When someone is born, we rejoice. When someone dies, we cry. That's just a natural part of human behavior. And so when people come into our lives, even if they anger us, we might be able to benefit from that somehow. I've talked to you before about letting negative things become positive things. And it's a matter of choice. It's not something we have to say, oh, this is awful, it's going to destroy me. It'll only destroy you if you allow it to. The people in your life are there for a reason. They are scaffolding around your life, built up on top of each other sometimes. You ever seen scaffolding? I was in D.C. here a few years ago, and I was looking at the U.S. Capitol. At that time, it was being remodeled. Not remodeled, refurbished. And there was scaffolding all around it. I could see from a long distance, I could see a shadow around the big dome. And I thought, what is that? Well, when I got down there closer, I could see there was scaffolding all around it. I mean, hundreds of feet high. And I thought, how does it stand? But they all link together to become a part of a workforce that got the dome painted and got things refurbished and restored. Of course, now, after last week, they might have to do that again sooner than later. Nevertheless, there are people that have come into my life that are no longer in my life. They were a blessing at the time. There are people who will come into your life who will be an absolute blessing, and then they won't be in your life. Not everyone and everything lasts forever. So take advantage of the time while you have people like that in your life and say, well, Lord, thank you so much for allowing this person in my life. Now, even if you lose them, be grateful for the time that you had them because they're the scaffolding in your life that helps you to build the building that you want to build. Do you want your life to become 100 stories high? Wonderful. You're going to have to take some scaffolding around your life for a few years. If you ever feel alone in this world, you're not. And if you ever feel unloved, you're just not. Because I love you. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye.